Welcome to the HOIA Dumpling House. On today's episode of Healthy Organic Inspired Asian Food and Cooking with moi, Diane Yang Kirk, we will be making a chicken and vegetable dumpling. Now, if you're new to cooking and you're not sure if you can make dumplings, what I say about that is any dummy can make dumplings. Let's get started. One of the vegetables in our dumpling is Napa cabbage. This is 2 pounds of Napa cabbage. In my recipe, we're gonna have about 1, so we're gonna slice this in half. There's a little bit of a technique to cutting a cabbage, so I'm going to show you how. That was a good place for HOIA. HOIA! My cabbage is cut in half, and I'm going to take out this part, which is the stem, and I'm just gonna cut it in a triangle. And just pop it out. Voila. Next, we're going to thinly slice our cabbage. And into the bowl we go. I have a tablespoon of salt, and this is going to wilt the cabbage without cooking it. I know it seems like a lot of salt right now, but we're gonna rinse it afterwards. We're getting our hands dirty in this episode, so I'm putting my clean hands into the bowl with the cabbage, and I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a massage. When you set this aside for about 30 minutes, the cabbage will wilt. This cabbage is wilted, and if you taste some, it is salty. You're gonna wanna rinse this before we use this in our mix. My cabbage is rinsed, and I'm just going to squeeze it a little bit to release just a little bit more of the water. It's hard to put the dumpling together when there's too much liquid, and we're gonna be adding more seasonings and sauces to it, so controlling that and squeezing some cabbage. I love using zucchini in my dumpling mixture because zucchini, once it's cooked, is really moist, it's really soft, and instead of using a lot of fatty meats, using a lean chicken today, the zucchini helps to replace some of that tenderness that you might find in a dumpling made with pork. I'm cutting my zucchini into small cubes. I'm also cutting up some beautiful scallions. I love the oniony taste that it adds to my mixture. I'm reserving just a little bit of my cut scallions for my sauce at the end, so I'm just gonna put that in a separate bowl. And then the rest of it goes into my mixture. I'm crushing some garlic and ginger into my mixture. I've got about 3 or 4 cloves, depending on the size. More garlic is always better. The mussels again. Ah. And then the same with ginger. Okay, that's enough ginger for me. I have a pound of organic ground chicken. I'm adding it to my mixture. Now I'm adding my wet ingredients. I have a 1/3 cup of Shaoxing wine, a 1/4 cup of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of sesame oil, 2 tablespoons of organic soy sauce. I'm soy into you. Sorry, Ariana. I can't sing like Ariana Grande. I'm going to mix this up, and I also have a little bit of water right here. This is about a 1/3 cup, and depending on the moisture in my mixture, I'm gonna see how much I actually really need. It smells so yummy. Got some yumpling dumplings coming up. My mixture here looks like it's mostly hydrated. I'm just gonna add about half of this, so about a half of a 1/3, so 1/6. We're doing math here, of my water. And in goes a little bit of white pepper. This is about a 1/4 teaspoon. And just to help the mixture all bind together, 1 tablespoon of flour. And we mix again. Sprinkling some flour on my cutting board so that my wrappers don't stick. It's like playing in sand. I'm making my dumplings right now, and what's really great when you are making dumplings from scratch is to have some friends who will work for food. I love having a dumpling party, and that way everyone gets to make dumplings and everyone gets to eat. This is how you do it. There is a perfect balance to too much filling or not enough filling. If you use too much, then it's going to spill out the sides and it will be difficult to fold and it won't stay together. If you use too little, you'll have a flat or lacking dumpling. I like using a teaspoon. That's about the perfect size. This is just a little bit of finger water, and use the water to line the edge of the dumpling skin, and then I fold it in half and you pinch. Then on the side facing you, also add more water, squeeze, pinch towards you, and squeeze again. And then you pinch towards you, squeeze again, pinch towards you, and squeeze. Oops, that had a little juice. And then you do the same on the other side. Pinch, squeeze, pinch, squeeze, pinch, squeeze. And then when you're done, you just give everything a squeeze. There you go. Let's try this again. 1 teaspoon on my wrapper. The water around the edge. And then we fold it in half and give it a pinch. Water on the edge on the outside facing you. We're gonna squeeze and pinch, squeeze and pinch, trying to keep all the filling inside, and then squeeze and pinch. And then the other side, squeeze and pinch, squeeze and pinch too. So if you have this situation where there's too much filling, you can just squeeze it out into the bowl and nobody will know. The more you do of these, the easier it becomes. And if they're ugly, it's okay. Then you just have an ugly dumpling. Still tastes good though. Well, we've got some homemade hand-wrapped dumplings. We're gonna cook them now 2 ways. The first way are boiled dumplings, which are definitely healthier for you. And then the second are my favorite pan-fried dumplings, or also known as pot stickers. I have some water boiling so we can boil our dumplings. I'm using some tongs so I don't burn myself, and just gently place them into the water. If you're from New York like me. And you want this to boil for about 5 to 7 minutes until the dumplings start to float, and they will be dancing around in the water. Boop, 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 boop. The dumplings are floating, and that means they're ready to eat. I'm using a slotted spoon to help me, and I'm just gonna take them out and place them on my plate. We'll arrange them to make them look pretty in just a little bit. Just get them out of the water. If you wait too long, then the dumpling skins will just get soggy, and we don't want soggy dumpling skins. And now we're making our pot stickers. So I have a hot pan and about 1.5 tablespoons of organic oil. And I'm just going to cover the bottom of the pan and make sure that it's coated. And that's where the pot stickers are gonna get their fry on. Now I'm gonna gently place my dumplings into the pan. Just be really careful because there is hot oil in the pan. You don't want to crowd it too much because then they might stick together. But I try to get as many dumplings in the pan as possible. Perfect. Now I'm gonna add some water to the bottom of the pan. So you want to cover about 1/3 of the bottom of the dumplings. Woo! And make sure your pan has a lid, because this is what's going to cook the inside. Once the lid is on the pan, let it boil and cook for about 3 minutes on a high flame, then turn it down and just keep an eye on the pan and watch your dumplings until most of the water, most of the moisture gets absorbed. All right, so you can see in the pan that the water has absorbed and cooked into the dumplings, and they're ready to plate. They've got a nice crispy bottom. They're called pot stickers because sometimes they stick to the bottom of a pan. They're crispy and flavorful, and all we have left to do is make the sauce. We're making the same sauce for both types of our dumplings. We're starting off with some black vinegar. Since I have more pot stickers, I'm going to double that on this side, so I'm going to use 4 tablespoons of black vinegar and 2 for my boiled dumplings. In my recipe, I also love to add ginger paste. That's a half a teaspoon. That's 1 full teaspoon. And in this one, which is half the size, just half a teaspoon. Just give that a mix. And a mix, break it up. 2 teaspoons of chili oil. And for the half portion, 1 teaspoon. Stir it up, mix it up. Then we're garnishing with our spring onions. Yum. And there you have it, a healthy, homemade, hand-wrapped chicken and vegetable dumpling made 2 ways, boiled and pot sticker. So when you get your hands on these, you'll never let gyoza. I'm sorry, some puns are winners, some puns are losers. You dim some, you lose some. HOIA!
I think it's because of the...
And, very often, the delicious, what am I saying? It's all worked in my head. I think I need to do a little bit more gangster. I've been spending most of my life living in a dumpling paradise. It's terrible.
That's awful.
I don't know how to sing gangster. I'm not ODB. Well, we've got some okay. Well, we've got some homemade, what is it? Well, we've got some homemade hand-wrapped. Well, we've got some homemade, I can't cook. I boiled some water. I forgot what I was gonna say. It's like I've never cooked before in my life. If you enjoyed this episode of HOIA Food and Cooking, please like this video and share it with your friends. New videos will be going up each week on my channel, so please subscribe to see the latest delicious, healthy, organic, inspired Asian food recipes. I'd love to hear from you, so please comment below and tell me what you loved about this video, and also what dishes you'd like to see me prepare in the future. HOIA!